All right. So tonight, we're talking about the benefits of having or hiring a personal trainer and why that's important. So first of all, I just kind of want to go over what does a personal trainer do? What does that mean to when you have a personal trainer? What do they do? Basically, in a really small nutshell, first of all, most personal trainers are certified, and you definitely want to get a certified personal trainer. There are other trainers out there as well, and they might have their own personal experience and they're knowledgeable, but they don't have all the extra education and expertise that those of us that go through all the schooling and all the different courses that we might have. So if someone is certified, they've gone through all of the courses, the education, and they complete many, many hours of education to get through some of these courses, especially if they go further into any kind of specialization. And we have to have a certain amount of credits every couple of years. And if we don't keep up with our education, then we lose our certification. So um, we are, those of us that are certified, we are certified not only in the training part, the exercises, but on anatomy and safe and effective exercises. And there again, that can be very specialized. There's all sorts of different courses that specialize in different areas. We're also required to be certified in CPR and IED usage. And that's mainly super important for trainers that are training in person. If you have an online trainer, then that doesn't necessarily apply because there's not much they can do over the internet. But especially for in-person trainers, then we are required to be certified in both CPR and IEDs. And also a personal trainer will create a fitness plan, usually customized. A good trainer will customize a workout program or exercise program specific to your goals. What are you wanting to do? And they will act as that guide to get you through that program to be able to reach your goals. So, of course, the topic is what are the benefits? So, I just want to go over some of the few benefits of having a personal trainer. First of all, is accountability. So, a lot of people, they might want to try to get back into shape or start some sort of a fitness program. They don't have anybody there to kind of give them that little nudge when they need it or whatever. They don't have that accountability. So a personal trainer is there that you're generally checking in with them, whether in person or online, at least once a week. And so they will hold you accountable to make sure you're really doing what you need to in order to reach your goals. And it's not, when they're an accountability person, they're not there to downplay you or make you feel bad or guilty if you haven't done your program, your workouts, whatever. They are there to encourage you and motivate you and keep you accountable. That's what accountability is. So don't worry about that. They're not going to come. Most people won't come down. Everybody has a different personality, and you might get some, and maybe that's your personality, and that'd be a great person for you that really comes down on your heart, and maybe that's what you need. So I'll be getting more into that as far as how to choose a personal trainer. Like I said, they create or help you create the motivation. A lot of times when people start some sort of a fitness program or hire a personal trainer, they are motivated. I mean, that's why they reach out for that help. But you've heard me talk about it before, that motivation will get you started, but it doesn't always keep you going. And so you, as the person working out, doing exercise, needs to be disciplined and keep that up. But the trainer will help keep that motivation. And if you start lacking in that, they can help build that back up to where you will be motivated again. So that's another reason that they're there, is to help you with that. And then I touched on, they also will give you a customized plan specific to your goals. And they offer the expert guidance to be able to work through that program. Also, a lot of times people don't necessarily know exactly what to do or how much to do. And so they only do what they know, and it might only be a couple of things. And you can kind of get bored with that if you're doing the same thing over and over and over, you know, day in, day out, week in, week out, month after month, year after year. It does get old. Now, there are certain programs there, again, it's all customized, where you will do a lot of the same types of exercises several weeks, but that's in blocks. We call it periodization. Um, and so that does come into play. But I know for myself, I'm just going to speak for myself, but I know other trainers too, that we try to it'll still work the same stuff, but a little bit different, just to keep that variety and keep it from getting bored. But it's still going to get the results that you want. And then any kind of modifications, and being a specialist in senior fitness, then I know as we age, then our bodies change a lot. And there are certain things that we can't do physically. I mean, our bodies are incapable. There are different things like RA or diabetes that you have to do modifications on certain exercises, just because of that. So a good personal trainer will be able to give you those modifications and still get those same results. And then also, a trainer will give you education. And I'm not talking the kind of education that I had to get certified, but there again, speaking for myself, I do try to educate my clients on why and how to do certain things. I think it doesn't matter if it's fitness or your job, whatever it is. I think most people, if they can understand the why behind something, they're more likely to do it because they understand it better. And I don't just tell people, do this exercise just for the sake of doing it. I explain to them and educate them on why we're doing this and how to do it properly. So the right kind of education. Now, I say the right kind of education because we are in the world of the internet, and there is so much information out there. And I mean, you can Google fitness and you have thousands of different things come up. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to do. So there again, try to find a trainer that will educate you in the correct way. Don't just go. And I'm not saying that everything out there is horrible, because there's some good things out there as well. But it's just very helpful to have someone to be able to guide you through all of that. They'll also help keep your focus on your goal. I know a lot of times, if somebody, there again, not just fitness, but with anything, if you're reaching for a goal and it doesn't happen overnight, there again, our society says instant gratification. And so if we're not seeing those results overnight, then we tend to kind of get down. But a trainer will help keep your focus on, what is your goal? Why are you even doing this? And what happens if you stop? And they'll also be able to track your progress. And that looks different depending on the trainer. We all have our own ways of doing things, but I personally use a software program that helps me in being able to track things. And I use a log and all that kind of stuff. And pictures are a great progress thing too. We see ourselves every single day, so we don't necessarily see any changes. But if you take a before and then an after or a current picture, most people will see even a small change, and that's progress. And so that's super important. And a trainer will help you with that tracking as well. They'll also help you there again with showing you the correct way to do things that helps prevent injuries, because that's the last thing we do. And I've been in different gyms where I see people on different equipment, and it's like they have no clue what they're doing and they're going to get hurt. So, I mean, there is a right way and a wrong way. And if you do it incorrectly, number one, you're not going to get the results that you're looking. And number two, you really risk injury. So then you're really going to be out of commission, and it's going to get you away from your goals instead of towards your goals. And then convenience as well. You've got somebody that you can call or text or email, whatever, contact them to ask different questions. If it's in person, then most towns, even small towns, have some sort of a gym that you can go to. Not all of them have trainers there to be able to help you, but you at least have the equipment, and so they can guide you through that. So I'm talking more like the online, and so they can help you with whatever equipment might be available at that gym. And then like with the online, that's super convenient. There's a lot of flexibility on online training. And where we really saw a boom in that was during the pandemic, because gyms were closed. And so all these trainers needed to figure out something on how they could still work with their clients. And it just really made the online training explode. And it's awesome because we have technology today. And so that doesn't limit me to only having to work with people locally. I can literally reach people all around the world. And that's exciting to me because that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help people. And so why have those limits? So I love the idea of the online training. It just has opened up so much. All right. So is a personal trainer right for you? It might be, or it might not be. So how do you really know? Well, I have some questions that I wrote down to kind of ask yourself. First of all, do you have trouble sticking with some sort of a program? Do you think that you know what you're doing, but you're having a hard time really sticking with that? And like I said, are you unsure of even what to do or how much to do? Do you not want to have to think about what you should do and formulate your own plan? Or do you just want somebody to tell you what you should do and line it out for you? I know I have had clients in the past as well as currently that have said, I don't care. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I don't want to think about it. And even for myself, I do that. I line out my own program. And since I work out super early in the morning, my brain's not always awake, which can be a benefit, because if you start exercising before your body's awake, it won't know what's happening. And so I say you just kind of fool your body. But I'll do that because then I don't have to think that early in the morning. I just follow whatever I've written down for myself. So, maybe you're a person like that. You just want somebody to be able to line things out and then you can do it, and that's fine. Another thing, do you want to be able to do things the rest of your life that a lot of other people can't because they're just physically unable to? Because their health and their fitness has declined. They're again being a senior fitness specialist, then, I work with a more mature crowd usually. And, but I've even worked with people in their 30s and 40s that because they haven't done anything, then their health is already declining. So even at an early age, they look and they act a whole lot older than they really are. And so as you age, do you still want to be able to do those things, be able to have fun with your kids and your grandkids and family and do things? Do you want to have energy to do all that? Do you want to get rid of joint pain? And there again, I did mention like RA. I know there are things like that, that other things come into play, but it has been proven that exercise can also help RA. And I have a client right now with RA that as long as she stays active, then it doesn't bother her near as much. So it can help with joint pain as well. Do you want to go on vacation and actually enjoy yourself, seeing the different sights instead of starting out and getting tired and sore and you have to cut things short because you don't have the stamina to be able to keep going? Do you want to be able to? I know I'm here in Colorado and we have all sorts of outdoor activities that we can do. Do you want to be able to continue to snow ski, water ski, ride a bike, do things, hike? I mean, we've got a lot of hiking around here. Do you want to be able to do those things? And if you haven't done any of that, do you want to start? And do you want to gain confidence in yourself, not just in your physical abilities, but it's amazing what your physical health will do to your mindset. I just recently on social media posted a podcast that one of my friends does, and he was talking about how your physical state affects your mindset. And it's so true. And so, when we're in pain, then life just doesn't seem good at all. But when we physically can feel better, then everything just tends to look better as well. And do you want better balance and mobility? There again, as we age, those are some of the things that start to go away. So if you have answered yes, you want more for yourself, then a personal trainer may be a very good fit for you. Excuse me a minute. I had to wet my whistle. So if you've answered yes, you want more, and you're thinking of getting a personal trainer, how do you choose the right trainer? Well, I've got some tips for you. First of all, are they interested in your goals and your motivations? They're not just somebody that gets together with you and says, oh, well, I want you to do this, this, and this, and this, and that doesn't align with anything you want. They need to be looking at what your goals are and be able to develop a program for you. It's not for them. So look at that first and foremost. Can they communicate well with you in order to help you understand how and why you're doing different exercises, especially if you're not familiar with some of those exercises? And I will kind of stray a little bit from, not stray, but just kind of add something that, well, and not just in fitness, in anything. If you don't understand how to do something or why you're doing something, ask them. They need to be able to explain that to you. And like I said, that's anything in life. Don't be afraid to ask. How many times have we heard that there are no stupid questions? The only one is one that's not asked. So ask those questions. That's how we learn. And that's how you're going to know more to be able to benefit yourself and increase your health. Are they easy to talk to? Do they explain things so that you understand rather than using like technical terms? I mean, I try to explain things to people so that they can understand. I'm not going to go, I mean, I had to learn the names of all these different muscles and joints and, the anatomy of the body. When I'm working with somebody, I'm not going to be using all those terms because they're not going to understand that. They don't know. So I will say the back of your arm or the front of your leg, or, I'm not going to be specific in the technical terms. So now, if you're somebody that appreciates that, ask for that, ask for those technical terms. But most people, they don't care. They don't want to take that class. They want somebody that can explain it in a way that they can understand. So make sure that they, whoever you're working with can do that. Do you feel good and excited and motivated by the plan that they have lined out for you? Because there again, if they've listened to what your goals are and what motivates you, then they're going to come up with a plan and a workout regimen for you that will excite you and keep you excited about your goals and what that's going to do for you, what you're going to be able to hit with your goals. Do they have experience and knowledge working with people like you with similar goals, similar physical impairments, something like that? Now, there are sometimes that they may be very knowledgeable, but they just haven't had the opportunity to work with somebody. But if they have the knowledge to be able to do that, that's fine too. But if they've actually worked with somebody, then that's even better. So if they haven't worked with somebody, don't just automatically cut them out. Are they available during the hours that you'd like to exercise? And that's mainly like for in person, but for like online, when you're doing your weekly check-ins, or I personally use Zoom to be able to, I mean, you can see each other, so I can tell what they're doing and how they're doing it, that type of thing. Are they available when it's convenient for you? And I know everybody is super busy anymore and everybody has a lot going on, but there should be some way to be able to work out a time that does work for you for workouts or chats or check-ins or whatever. And then lastly, and these, there again, this is not exhaustive. These are just some tips, but are they responsive to your questions and even your input? If you have ideas or different thoughts, are they open to that? Or are they one of those that no, they're the expert and they know everything? I am of the mind that yes, I have the knowledge, I have the expertise, I have the training, the education, but I can always learn. And so my mind is always open to be able to hear from others. And if somebody has a question, then I try my best to answer it to where they are satisfied with that they understand after asking that question. Well, we know that regular exercise is a key to good health. So if you want to jumpstart your fitness or you're having trouble staying motivated, then working with a personal trainer might just be right for you. And it could mean the difference between giving up on a goal or hitting a plateau, getting bored, or actually achieving your goals. So you need to actually put some thought into it. Now, if you are a complete beginner, you have no knowledge of anything relating to fitness or exercise, I do suggest that you find somebody that you can meet with in person. It can be done online as well, so I'm not ruling that out. But especially if you're not familiar with how to do exercises, there again, we want to avoid injury. And so you're better off trying to find somebody in person that can physically walk you through and show you how to do that. But if you have even a little bit of knowledge on exercise and how to do things, online is a great thing. Even if you are local, online is still a great option, and it does give you a little more flexibility, but you have to decide what's right for you. And then, of course, we always come down to one of the final questions people ask: how much does it cost? The big question. Well, depending on the area you're in, United States or outside the United States, I am speaking from inside the United States. I know different countries have different regulations on different things as well. So I'm not speaking to that. I'm speaking about United States. But it still depends on what area you're in. I mean, things in California are going to be different than they are here in Colorado versus Kentucky or New York or Florida. I mean, it's all going to be different according to area. Also, it'll be different according to a trainer as far as their experience, if they work for a gym, if they work for themselves, that all is going to come into play. But to give you a range, and it's kind of a big range, so I'm sorry for that, but it's the truth. It can really range anywhere from $20 to, in some of those bigger city areas, even $100 an hour. But sometimes if you do bundle a bunch of sessions and prepay those, then usually there are discounts involved with that as well. So don't be afraid to ask about that. But besides the monetary cost, you also need to ask yourself, what will it cost you if you don't get some help in improving your health and fitness? It can take years off your life. It'll have you missing out from doing things with kids, grandkids, family, doing different things. You can end up with high medical bills, taking tons of medication, all sorts of things. So you also have to consider that cost as well. There's going to be some sort of a cost usually. So you need to weigh that out and invest in yourself and in your future, because you deserve it and you owe that to yourself. So that's all I've got for you tonight.